Sri Gurubhyo Namaga children, 10th standard children, it is your supplementary reader. We are reading about the year 2889, and in that it is part 3. In the part 2 we learned that husband and wife Mrs. Bennet and Mrs. Bennet and Mr. Bennet were just having their lunch in 2 different places, but they were talking while they having the lunch with the phono-telephotic technology, and they were able to see. But Bennett was very much worried that he was having his lunch alone, and it will be the thing that they will be having their evening tea. So she says that while he was having the tea, she will be there at place. So she promises, and let us see whether she is there. When he had finished his lunch, he went across to the window where his aero car was waiting. So where his aero car was waiting, "Where are we going, sir?" asked the aero coachman. "Let's see, I have got time," Francis Bennet replied. "Take me to my accumulator works at Niagara." So here he is telling that, "Where are we going, sir?" The air coachman. So Harrow coachman, Harrow is the coachman, will be just taking the things. Asked him where you have to go. "Let's see, I have got time." So let's see, I have got time. Francis Bennet replied, "Take me to my accumulator work at Niagara." So Niagara is a place, you can take me to that place. The air car shot across space at a speed of about 400 miles an hour. So it will be going 400 miles an hour. An hour it will be just going 400 miles. Below him were spread out the town with their moving pavement, which carried the wayfarers along the street and the countryside, covered as though by an immense spider's web by the network of electric wire. So you can see that this is how. So under down there was other place and other wires and all, and the movement of the web like a spider, it will be moving very fast. So the aero car shot across space at a speed of about 400 miles an hour. It will be going at 400 miles an hour. Below him were spread out the towns with their moving pavements, which carried their wayfarer along the streets, and the countryside covered as though by an immense spider's web. So it was like an immense spider's web, it is there. By the network of electric wires, it all made of a electric wire, network of a electric wire. Within half an hour, Francis Bennet had reached his work at Niagara. So within half an hour, Francis Bennet had reached his works at Niagara, where after using the force of the cataract to produce energy, he sold or hired it out to the consumers. Then he returned by the way of Philadelphia, Boston and New York to Centrophils, where his aero car put him down about 5 o'clock. So here within half an hour, Francis Bennet had reached his work at Niagara. So within half an hour, Francis Bennet had reached his work at Niagara, and where after using the force of the cataracts, they had made force of the cataract to produce energy. So he produced energy there with the help of cataract. He sold or hired it out of the consumers. He sold or hired of the consumers. Then he returned by the way Philadelphia. So he just returned the Philadelphia, Boston and New York to Centropolis, where, so Centropolis is a place where he was there, where his aero car put him down after about 5 o'clock. So it brought him at 5 o'clock to his place. So the waiting room of the Earth Herald. So he came at 5 o'clock to his place, the waiting room of Earth Herald. So he came to that place within 5 o'clock. Exactly at 5 o'clock he was in his working place. Was crowded. It was crowded. A careful lookout was being kept for Francis Bennet to return for the daily audience. He gave to his petitioners among their different proposals. He had to make a choice, reject the bad ones, look into the doubtful ones, and welcome to good ones. So was crowded, a careful lookout was being kept for Francis Bennet to return for the daily audience. He gave to his petitioners among their different proposals. He had to make a choice, reject the bad ones, look into the doubtful ones, and welcome the good ones. He soon got rid of those who had only useless or impracticable schemes. A few of others received a better welcome, and foremost among them was a young man whose broad brow indicates a high degree of intelligence. He soon got rid of those who had only useless or impartial schemes. They had useless or impartial schemes. A few of others received a better welcome. So the others are welcome, better welcome, and foremost among them was a young man whose broad brow indicate a high degree of intelligence. So they were having a broad brow. So if they are having a broad brow means the eyebrow was very broad and indicates a high degree of intelligence. Sir, he began, though the number of elements used to be estimated at 75, it has now been reduced to 3, as no doubt you are aware. So he was asking, sir, he began, though the number of elements used to estimate at 75, it has now been reduced to 3. 75 we are using, but it has been reduced to 3, as no doubt you are aware. Perfectly, Francis Bennett replied. Yes, perfectly. Well, sir, I am on the point of reducing the 3 to 1. So, well, sir, I am on the point of reducing the 3 to 1. If I don't run out of money, I have succeeded in 3 weeks. So, he is saying, well, sir, I am on the point of reducing the 3 to 1. If I don't run out of money, so I run out of money, I am having a shortage of money, otherwise I will be just making it. I will have succeeded in 3 weeks. I will be having succeeded in 3 weeks. And then sir, I shall really have discovered the absolute. And the result of the discovery, it will be to make the creation of forms of matter easy, stone, wood, metal, fabric. So he is saying, and the result of that discovery, so he was doing a discovery, and the result of the discovery is, it will be to make the creation of all forms of matter easy, stone, wood, metal, fibrils. Are you saying you are going to be able to construct a human being? So are you saying you are going to be able to construct a human being? Complete. The only thing missing will be the soul. So he says that. So are you saying you are going to be able to construct a human being? You are going to construct a human being. Yes. Completely, complete. The only thing missing will be soul. So they will be making like a human being. Only thing is missing is the soul of it. Francis Bennett assigned the young fellow to the scientific editorial department. So Francis Bennett assigned the young fellow to the scientific editorial department. He was just got appointment there of his journal. So he given appointment for him of his journal. A second inventor, using as a basis of some old experiment that dated from the 19th century, had the idea of moving to a whole city in a single block. He suggested as a demonstration the town of Saf, situated 15 miles from the sea. After conveying it on rails down to the shore, he would transform it into a seaside report. Francis Bennett, attracted by this project, agreed to take a half share in it. So a second inventor is saying, already it had been invented in the year previously in the 19th century, the same year had remade it and had an idea of moving a whole city in a single block. You want to make a whole city in a single block. He suggested as a demonstration the town of Saf, situated in 15 miles from the sea. After conveying it on a rail down to the shore, he would transform it into a seaside resort. Francis Bennett, attracted by his idea and by this project, he agreed to take a half share in it. He is ready to agree and he will be taking half share. The proposals heard and dealt with, Francis Bennett went to stretch himself out in an easy chair in an occasion room. So in an audition room, then pressing a button. He was sitting in an audition room and from there this all explanation was going and he accepted it. Then pressing a button, he was put into communication with the central concert. After so busy a day, what charm he found in the works of our greatest masters, based on a series of delicious harmonic algebraic formula. During his meal, phonotypic communication had been set up with the Paris. So they were had a communication with telephotic thing, and with that they were just conversing, and now we stopped that and he just communicated with the central concert, and from there the great master, based on the series delicious harmonic algebraic formula, he was discussing during his meal, and that too it is during his meal he was communicating with the person, been set up with the Paris. When do you expect to get back to Centropolis, did dear Edith after asked Francis Bennett. I'm going to start this moment by tube or arrow train. By tube, then you will be here at 11:59 this evening, Paris time. No, Centropolis time. Goodbye then, and above all, don't miss the tube. So here he says that it will be coming in the tube. So tube is also another type of transportation in the modern world, and she'll be just coming in that, she was telling. And the husband also tells the time at 11:59 this evening. 11:59 you'll be here. So here she says it is not the French time, it is France time, it is the time of Centropolis. So here she'll be coming, she said. And these submarine tubes, what is the tubes? These submarine tubes by which one travels from Paris in 295 minutes. So the tube is a submarine tube by which one travels from Paris in 295 minutes. So from Paris to that place they come in 295 minutes. Or certainly much perfectible to the aero trains which only manage 600 miles an hour. So the aero trains are there, it will manage by 600 miles an hour. So Francis Bennett, very tired after very full a day. So he was having full day a meeting with the phonotelephatic, and he was traveled from France to other places, and that all made him very tired, and decided to take a bath before going to bed. So before going to bed he wanted to take a bath. There was always a bath already in the office. He touched the button. A rumbling sound began, got louder, increased. Then one of the doors opened and the bath appeared gliding along on its rails. So even bathing had been given by the machine. So once he was switch on a machine, if he goes to the room and he can have a bath, and then thing will be just wearing all the dress from button to the other thing, and he can come to its rail, gliding along on its rail. So it was just moving and coming when you switch on the bath once. So it will be just ready. So children, I think you have enjoyed the class. From the beginning you saw that they having phonotelephonic method, and the travel was by submarine tube and aero train, and this all the fastest movement of the transportation and mode of transportation that will be in the previous years it was missing. And coming years, even before 2880, we are in 2020, we have seen all the advancement, and we can expect more advancement even in coming forth days, and we will be waiting like the author and see what all the advancement and which all we are using, we can see in the future years, children. And we will be ending this class. We will meet you in the next class with the next lesson. Until then, bye children.